My vision is to have a university in this institution, a primary school, a secondary school, a college school, that's a tertiary school where we learn technical training, and then a university. I come from a village called Singila, that is in Mwatate, which is in Taita Taveta County in Kenya. It's a place where normally it's dry since when I was growing up. It used to be dry, but at the same time we used to have serious rain seasons. We normally had 2 seasons per year. But now as time has gone by, then the climate changed, and now we have only rarely any rain. Yeah, I come from a very humble beginning because I remember my parents have always been peasant farmers. We rely on the small farms that we have. Sometimes we even borrow from family members, a place where we could plant maybe maize or beans. So my parents have been peasant farmers. So I come from a very humble beginning where I've been born and I've lived in a mud house. We never had any cement floor, and I never used to put on any shoes until when I was in my class 7. That's when I got a pair of sandals, the slippers. It has always been me. While I was still in college, I took responsibilities for my siblings in their education. So I can say I have that passion in me to serve the community because I started with my siblings and my parents. So I can say it's in me because again, apart from the project that we are doing, I have been involved in many other projects. I have this heart of lending a hand. Were it not for education, I would not be where I am. I would not be the Gabriel that I am today. It's all because of education. And from the community that I come from, there are so many poor families that we grew up with, and until now, the families have no change in them. So I am concerned and I'm touched to see that I need to do something to change or to make an impact to the community and change the lives of these family members. Especially the children, because it all starts from the children. But around here, people are in the same style, from the parents, grandparents, now the new generation, they're all the same, and they don't have that chance to change lives. So for that reason, in my situation, I just decided that I need to make a change here. Schools that are in remote areas like this, they're actually somehow forgotten by the government. So the students here get poor education, poor support from the teachers. The parents are also poor, but they can't make any big change. And so they school here, they don't go to better high schools, they get the low standard high schools, and then the cycle continues.
So our daily life is very difficult because we don't have employment. He's just a hustler, he's a mason. But as you can see, this area, there are no buildings, there are no industries to work, so the life is very difficult. We depend on rains, and you can see now there are no rains. We tried to plant, but the plants failed. So
many parents who want their kids at least to get better education, they go to a slightly better school, which is on the other side of the road. That's past the place we are building a school, across the road, the other side. And then with the elephant menace around here.
They have to wake up early in the morning
to go there.
Yeah.
And now there's the risk of the elephants. And then in the evening when they're released at around 5:30, they reach here 7 o'clock. And already I was here the other day and I met the elephants here. So the kids are living a very risky life. And the other thing is, a private school, it's you to make your own regulations, like the leaving time, the morning when they report. So for us, we'll put some consideration, especially for kids who are coming from far. So we can decide, instead of starting the lessons at 8, we can start around 8:30 or 9. So we give an allowance. And then in the evening, we release them a bit early. Most of the schools, private schools that people open up, they open up schools with the intention of trying to help improve the poor people. So their target is to enroll and educate the poor people. So for my school, I want to enroll children from the rich family, the mid class, and again, these families will be in a position to help me raise funds because there are families that can afford to pay school fees for their kids. So when they pay the fees, then I can be in a position to identify within my community children from poor families that can be offered full-time scholarships, sponsorships by the school from the baby class, the kindergarten level, all the way to the grade 6 and maybe grade 7 and 8. And again, when you look at the way the world is changing with the calamities like the war in Ukraine and Russia, calamities like the coronavirus, it's affecting everybody in the world. So I don't want to rely on sponsorship and scholarship from abroad. October 1st, that's when we started it, to January, we have enrolled students. Within 3 months, 4 months, not easy. Now, I normally choose whom I work with, and I normally give clear instructions with targets. I work with targets. So when I was doing the building, I selected the fundis, the masons. I did an interview for every mason, even the helpers, and that I wanted to work with a team that will deliver. And every morning, since we started working, every evening I set a target for tomorrow. Then I normally give them the lunch break, 1 hour break, then they come in, so 5 o'clock we close. Sometimes depending on whether we met our target or not, we extend a bit, but then that extension I also pay them to motivate them. And I make sure that all my workers get their money as agreed. I work in Mombasa for the Udo Foundation, but at the same time the project has been ongoing. My family has been very cooperative. They've been very hardworking because I work with my family. We work very open, everything, we work together, we set it open. They know the progress from the beginning to the ending. So when I'm in Mombasa, I give clear instructions and they follow the instructions. They know what we are supposed to do and the fundis know what we are supposed to do. We have quite a number of expenses. Like for now, we did 3 classrooms. We still need to do another 6 classrooms for us to have a complete school for the primary level. It's the first classroom that we actually did. So we still need that sponsorship or support from any well-wishers because again, as to where we are, I have not finished fixing the glasses in the other classrooms. I have to do the fence, plus so many other expenses. Here it's the second class, which is a PP2, nursery school 2. It's actually kindergarten because these are very young kids. They start from 4 years and they learn general skills, things like hygiene. They start learning the numbering. They also learn the mother tongue, the local people around here. And they study in groups. So wherever they sit in groups. So some sort of family that they just start learning the basic skills in education. We need water here, so we need to buy tanks. We also need a borehole because in my school we'll also train a lot about environment. We have already planted trees, but we intend to plant more trees. And even in my neighborhood, we need to also plant trees because if I have trees in my school, it is not of very big impact unless also the neighbors plant trees. So we also have to engage our neighbors to plant trees. Now the next classroom, I intend to start building it in April, because in April is when I'm expecting another salary, because my school I'm building with my salary. So the next salary is in April, and I purpose to put it now in the next building. Yeah. Well, first of all, I am so happy and I'm so thankful for having met my friend Heiko and his family and other well-wishers there. But I am informed and I'm very much aware that they are organizing a concert to help lend a hand in building this school. For the attendees of this event in Shwerin, I want to tell them that their participation, their contribution to this event in Shwerin is not in vain, because all the money, all the collection that they make in Shwerin will end up changing, impacting, and actually affecting positively the youth in this village, in this community. The money that comes from Shwerin event, all your contributions will actually come into building ANGAZA Academy, where our intention, our motivation, our target is to impact and change lives of the youth.